We're entering into the third Saturday of October, which also means Alabama taking on Tennessee and Bryant-Denny Stadium. Matt Zenitz joins me now from Tuscaloosa. And when we look at this matchup, obviously Alabama has won the last 10 against the Tennessee Volunteers, hoping to make that 11. What are some reasons Tennessee might be a big threat to Alabama this weekend?
I don't think they're going to be a big threat, and I don't think they're going to keep it close, but the main areas that could potentially allow them to make the game competitive, I would say their pass defense, which is ranked among the best in the SEC, and I think among the best nationally. I think they're in the top 5 nationally in pass defense, and also they have a very good running back, John Kelly, who stood out while I was watching the Tennessee-South Carolina game the other day and has done some good things throughout the course of his career at Tennessee. So I would say those are the two biggest strengths for Tennessee going into this game.
Hey, Matt, I love your honesty there. Thank you very much for that. Okay, when we look
to be as honest as possible.
We look at these freshman wide receivers. We've seen an emergence from several of these guys. How important has this been for this Alabama offense when we see some of these 5-star receivers as true freshmen getting some playing time and reps on the field?
Obviously, you want to have as much talent on your team as possible, and these young guys have continued to come along. So Jerry Jeudy made an immediate impression during the spring, made a lot of plays throughout the course of spring practice, and then was the MVP of the 8A game. And then Devontae Smith and Henry Ruggs both made immediate impressions when they got to Alabama over the summer, impressed people inside the program throughout summer workouts, throughout 7-on-7 passing sessions, and then continued to impress when Alabama started fall camp in August, and that's carried over to the season now. So you've seen those guys with them continuing to do well, coaches wanting to get them more and more involved. And this past game, you saw them with collectively their biggest workload that they've had to this point of the season. I think you'll see those guys continue to be incorporated more and more in the offense just based on how they continue to come along and with the talent that they have.
Okay, Matt, so we've heard this rat poison thing now here for the last week. Nick Saban mentioning it after the Texas A&M game, something he is not really pointing at the media per se, but more to motivate his players. Are we seeing this as more of a theme as to how Coach Saban is really trying to get his guys up for these games even when they're getting ready to play lesser opponents?
More so than anything else, he's just trying to keep players locked in. So it's very easy to see different things that are out there, whether it's a point spread, a 34-point spread, or players saying that they're favored by 34 points over the team that they're about to play, or different things that people in the media are writing about Alabama being #1 in the country and being one of the few unbeaten teams left, and just the external expectation being what it is for this team going into each game. And obviously the goal for Coach Saban is to get players to avoid that as much as possible and to keep them locked in. It's no different this week. So when he referenced that today, when he referenced that after whichever game it was, I mean, that's the goal for him, just keeping players from noticing that as much as possible, and more so than anything else, buying into that as much as possible, and just maintaining focus on what their responsibilities are during a given week and on the different things that Coach Saban and really any coach on this staff is looking for these players to do responsibility-wise heading into games.
Yeah, complacency always been a big theme for Nick Saban, and of course that's always tough, especially when you're the #1 team in the country and remain that way now heading into week 8 of the college football season. Thank you so much, Matt, for all your insight and for all your news and analysis. You can visit us on AL.com.